Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. This is our match preview for the big one, the big game, Aston Villa v Brighton. But I've got some special news for the channel. We officially have a sponsor and a partner for the channel, and I'm delighted to announce that it is Against the Odds. Something for me, I've been inundated over the years on this channel with betting companies, betting apps, fantasy football betting apps wanting to sponsor the channel, but for me it just doesn't fit right trying to promote this on this channel. So we are going with Against the Odds, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about them, and then we've got a shirt giveaway to do as well, so stick with us for your chance to win a signed football shirt as well. So Against the Odds, Holt End season ticket holder Aaron Abbott set up the business at the start of lockdown after discovering he had lost over 250,000 since the age of 16. He now delivers presentations and workshops to professional clubs and academies, in addition to colleges, universities and businesses. And he has worked with the likes of the NFL Academy, Loughborough College, Barnsley Football Club, Sheffield Wednesday. He will also be supporting the Villa Foundation from September and the women's first team. Against the Odds also has an awareness club that launched in Digbeth February of this year, raising awareness of the problems of gambling within 16 to 24-year-olds. He's teamed up with our mate Luke Roper to bring out a home and away shirt each year with all the profits reinvested into the campaign. The Awareness Club also has a football team that will play in various club trusts and foundations to raise money for both parties. Follow them on Instagram as you may get asked to get your boots on. Well, who are his mates? We've got cheeky Jacob Ramsey, Ollie Watkins, Tyrone Mings, and there are some of the people that are with the campaign as well. So for me, it's absolutely huge because I want to be a part of something that I 110% believe in. And also I want to try and help people. I've got this platform now of vast amount of people that watch each episode, each week, each month. And I just think if I can make a little bit of a difference by helping promoting something that's really good, then it's win-win for everybody. And talking about win-win, would you like to win a signed Philippe Coutinho shirt? So for your chance to win a signed Philippe Coutinho shirt, all you've got to do on this episode is comment down below Coutinho. So you can comment your normal comment that you want to comment about the preview, and just comment Coutinho, and that's your chance to be in the draw. You can also enter on Twitter. So you can enter on Twitter as well. So you just follow our Twitter page and follow what you have to do on there. So you can enter on Twitter and on the YouTube channel for your chance to win the Coutinho shirt. Our cash is there as well. So this is the shirt. It is the third shirt. And it's signed by Philippe Coutinho. So it's a great prize. And it'd be amazing to see it go to a really good home. So just to reiterate the rules, all you've got to do is subscribe to this YouTube channel and comment down below Coutinho. And then you can go on Twitter and you can see how you can enter on our Twitter feed as well. So with all that done, I'm going to bring in Justin, Ryan and Hannah. I'm going to adjust our lineup. How are you all? All right?
All right.
Excellent. Yeah, all good.
And just above Ryan's noggin, we're going to have our new little logo. There we go, Ryan. On your head, son. So there you go. So that's our official partner and sponsor of the channel, and you can win a Coutinho shirt. Right then. So this is the final match preview of the season. And haven't we been on a roller coaster ride? We had optimism, anticipation, belief. We had an expectation, all before a game was kicked, and all was squashed after the first game of the season at Bournemouth. Absolute terrible mess after that. We had it all unraveling with Mings, Gerrard, players not happy. And then we went on a run, and it was grim, absolutely grim. This season, we've had moments of magic and moments of lack of magic from a certain manager. And then the upward trajectory changed when me, Ryan and Justin were sat in a tent with a plastic cover on a table with Brian Little announcing that Unai Emery was the Aston Villa manager. And it has just been an upward trajectory ever since. So it's been a mad season to sort of do these podcasts on, because it's just been up, it's been down, it's been a learning curve. We've learned so much. It feels like it's been going on for absolute years this season for some reason. We've had a World Cup slapped in the middle of it. But Aston Villa's season comes down to one game on Sunday to get into Europe. And I'm already bricking it. Hannah, how are you feeling?
I am similarly bricking it already. I'm excited, very excited, but definitely nervous. It's like you say, it's felt like a long one because we had the World Cup slapped in the middle and so much has happened. Like the Gerrard era feels like a lifetime ago because so much has happened since. But at the same time, it is a not so distant memory that we were pretty woeful not too long ago, and that how quickly things change. And we have come on such a journey. So much can change in just a few months in football, and it's all down to one man, really, isn't it? Well, not just one man. You know, the players have all bought into it, but one man in particular, our Lord and Saviour Unai Emery, has really turned it round for us. And
I thought you was
has
talking
meant
about
that.
me then, Hannah.
Sorry, Justin. Sorry, Justin. But you know, he's the reason that we're even sat here now with one game to go, talking about a potential European spot. And for that, obviously, we're forever grateful, aren't we? We didn't think back in, you know, approaching those cold winter months when things were feeling really gloomy. We didn't think we'd be sat here now, did we, talking about it? We felt like it at the start of August when we were all predicting a European place, and we thought we were going to have an amazing season. But for large parts up until Christmas, it felt very, very dull. So it's a privilege and an honour to have that man at the helm and to be sitting here previewing our last game of the Premier League season, talking about the potential to go and win on Sunday and end up in Europe. It's quite a magnificent thing to say.
Ryan, I know. Last day of the season, it's one to enjoying it. It's one to sink a few beers. I know you'll probably be joining me at some point during the day. So, how are you feeling? What's your vibe?
I have been surprisingly calm, but this match preview episode does have a habit of cranking it up, doesn't it?
Do you know what, right? What I will say is, before I did the football phoning yesterday, I was so confident, so calm. But for whatever reason, the minute I come on here and start talking about this game, I get nervous. So I don't know whether you feel the same, any of you feel the same, but I don't know, man. I'm nervous for this one.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly all right. It must just be because I've got complete faith in Unai Emery. Like, it's gonna be a red hot atmosphere. It's gonna be something we've not witnessed in years and years. I can't actually come to think of it. I can't think of a bigger game at Villa Park than this one. What it all means, the journey we've been on, getting promoted, you know, the whole owner's journey, and it's coming down to game 38 in the fourth or fifth season of these owners, and we can get a place in Europe, and it really is the springboard for future success. You know, a lot of fans, neutral fans, will probably look at us and go, why are they getting so excited about the Europa Conference? But you're not seeing the bigger picture, different fan bases, and what's going on behind the scenes. You know, they don't know much about our owners, what's going on in our academy, the infrastructure we're putting in for future talent, the stadium plans. There's so much going on behind the scenes that people don't really pay much attention to. But this European place is a must for that to grow and blossom. And I'm really, really excited to get down Villa Park and really enjoy this game.
Yeah, you speak about big games, and I get your vibe, and I kind of I've been thinking about this myself. You know, when we say this is one of the biggest games in years, you know, over the last couple of years, we've had big games, haven't we? Do you remember like when Conser had that shot and it sort of came off Mings like against Watford? Like that was a big game in that February. That was a huge game. But there were still games to go. This is the big one which decides what happens. So that's why I think it feels even bigger because, you know, we've got to, whatever happens, yeah, we can look back at the end of the season and like, it's fine. But from this game to the next one, there's a long time.
I think one reason why I'm so calm as well, Luke, is because under Emery now, I feel like we don't play the occasion anymore. Like we've had some real good atmospheres at Villa Park, and Arsenal was one of them. And we sort of played on the atmosphere, didn't we? And we learned to have a hell of a lot from that Arsenal game. You know, about controlling the game and sticking to the game plan and not getting too excited about what's going on in the crowd and being focused on the game. And I think that's why I'm quite calm, because I think the players now know how to handle these type of occasions. They handled that Liverpool occasion, you know, 10 minutes of injury time at Anfield when they're trying to suck the ball into the back of the cop. They handled it. So I think that's where my calmness is coming from, but it will crank up. It will crank up.
Yeah. Justin, how are you feeling, my friend?
Oh, I'm really calm. I don't know why. I'm so calm and chilled about it. I think one of the main reasons is, yes, it's one game, and it is a huge game. But the 24 league games we've had previous under Emery, that's what's led us to this point. And without those results in all of those 24 games, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are now. And the fact we have got where we've got to isn't a fluke. We know now that it's not a flash in the pan. We are a very, very good football team. We deserve wholeheartedly to be where we are on the table. And on Sunday, we'll go toe-to-toe with probably one of the other better teams in the league this season, you know, and they are a very good side, Brighton. I'm under no illusions of the task that faces us on Sunday, come 4:30. But I went to Liverpool last week away, a team that won 7 on the bounce, and I was confident of going there, and you know, we were fantastic, and I think we'll be fantastic on Sunday. And it won't be because we're not a good team that we don't win this game on Sunday. We will give them a hell of a game. I am very confident we can beat them, like we did when we played them at their place. And the other thing about a one-off game, which it is now, last game of the season, is effectively, it's like a cup tie, isn't it? It's win or bust. And we have got probably one of the best cup managers in Europe, if not the world, who has made his name over the last 10 years of winning cup competitions all over Europe. And these kind of games are his bread and butter. This is what he makes. He makes it look easy, doesn't he? Because he can get teams up for these one-off cup tie, knockout, winner takes all occasions. So there is nobody I would want in world football in that dressing room just before kick-off, talking to these players, getting them ready to walk out on that pitch. And they're going to be hit by one of the biggest, loudest, most raucous Villa home crowds I possibly have ever seen. That's what I'm expecting on Sunday. And if that doesn't give them that extra bit of momentum, I don't know what will, because it's going to be a once, possibly in a lifetime experience for everybody that, you know, everybody always references that Everton game when we came up of being a special, special night. And I think this will be probably better than that on Sunday. And I can't wait.
Yeah. And, you know, we all know that our manager can literally tactically beat anybody in this league. So that fills me with a lot of confidence. And we are going to go into a lot more detail on Brighton's style of play and etc. and how we beat them in the predicted lineup. But there's one word that I would like to just try and just make everybody be a bit aware of, which is going to be what is going to be needed in this game, and it's patience. because it doesn't matter whether we get the winner in the 95th minute or whatever minute it might be. As long as we get that winner, I think it doesn't matter what minute it is. And what I'm trying to say is, because we play out from the back, let's just still relax, because what we don't want is the crowd to get aggy because we're not winning that game, and everybody to get a bit like squeaky bum vibe as the game goes on, and it might possibly be 0-0 or 1-1 or whatever. So that, I just think patience is key in this game. Ryan, what do you think? How do you see the game as a whole panning out?
Yeah, look, if I could pick a different Premier League opponent, I probably would, because I've got huge respect for Brighton. They're a very, very good outfit. They're a very, very good club. They're very aesthetically pleasing on the eye with their brand of football. Their recruitment is unreal. And they sell players at the right time as well. They sold about £100 million worth of talent, didn't they, this season? And they hardly missed. And, the likes of Cucurella and Basuma and Trossard, that they all left, and they've not really set the world on fire where they've gone. So, and they made a hell of a lot of money and replaced them with some top players. And they are a possession-hungry team, and they will have a lot of the ball. But I don't really want to say it, but you're going to show our form guide against them shortly anyway. But we've done very, very well against them lately, especially at the Amex and at Villa Park last season, which is crazy to think. When we played them last season, it was Gerrard's first game, wasn't it, in charge? So from where we was then to where we are now playing Brighton is like night and day. So we have got a good record there against them.
I mean, to be fair, that record is probably one of the best records I could ever show you in the Premier League against any team, because, normally when I show these records, it's like we got losses galore. So their only win against Aston Villa in the Premier League era comes at Villa Park, and we have sort of got their number: 2 wins at home, 2 wins away, and 2 draws. So it's not bad, is it? And, like you were saying then, so, we beat them 2-1, 2-0, 2-0, 0-0. You've got to go back to 2020 when we lost at Villa Park. So,
yeah, I fully agree with your patience, though, because they are going to have a lot of the ball. But counter-attacking for us, I think that's gonna be key.
Yeah, and I am going to go into them in great detail because of the magnitude of the game and the way it's going. I mean, they're playing Man City like now, and they've rested McAllister, Ferguson, Dunk, and Webster. So it looks like all 4 of those are going to be coming back into the lineup for that game as well. So it is going to be difficult. I do honestly think we will win, but it is going to be very, very difficult. I'll just run through some of these because I actually forgot to do it, and Ryan reminded me. So this is the form guide. So they beat Southampton, which I thought that was going to be a dead cert anyway. But then 2 away games, lost 5-1 to that was a home game actually. Lost 5-1 to Everton. Then they beat Arsenal. Then they lost 4-1 away at Newcastle. Our form guide's looking a little bit better now as well. Centrally, they are very, very strong. This was their lineup against Southampton. So, I think for me, that's not far off their strongest team. If you put Webster back in there at the back, that is their strongest team. And then this is their average positions as well. Then, so tough game, exciting. So we know the magnitude of the game. We've got loads of episodes to come this week, so we'll go into different areas of that as well. So Hannah, player of the season has been announced as Douglas Luiz. Supporters player of the season is Douglas Luiz. Who would you have gone with, and what have you made of Luiz's season?
Well, funnily enough, at the last home game, I was kind of thinking to myself, reflecting, knowing that it was the penultimate home game, who is our top performer? And I had 2 names in my head. It was going to be Douglas Luiz or it was going to be Tyrone Mings. I think if you look at the season as a whole and sort of improvement, development in all areas, I probably would have gone with Douglas Luiz. I just look back to kind of the Dean Smith era, Douglas Luiz, where, you know, we brought him in from Man City. We weren't sure if he was going to stay. He was a number 6, but we were never really sure, is he a number 6? He never seemed to find his role. You know, we took in players alongside him like Nakamba, and we were like, well, is it really working? And he just never seemed to fully find himself. And I think a lot of us forget how young he was when he actually first came to the club. And a few seasons in now, it feels like this has been his breakthrough, where he's really found his style of play, his comfortable position. And also, I think what's been really clear is his bond with the team around him. He's clearly got a really good sort of chemistry with his back four, which luckily has remained pretty consistent throughout the season, particularly under Unai Emery. And he's also built up good partnerships in the midfield, whether that's with a fellow sort of defensive midfielder like Boubacar Kamara or Dendonka, or if it's just with John McGinn. And you can't forget how many goal involvements he's had this season. It's such a long way from every kind of Douglas Luiz we've seen before. He's assisting and he's scoring at a rate we've never seen, whilst also remaining such a solid anchor in that midfield. And I think that's the thing that stands out to me. How many times previously did we sit and talk about Aston Villa in the real crappy times and say, we lost that game in the midfield? Or, sorry, we're playing musical chairs. We lost the game in the midfield. Our midfield was rubbish. How much better was that opposite team's midfield? Whereas now, so many games, it's almost like when they're that good, they kind of go under the radar because they're not making mistakes, and it's so smooth and so well oiled that now you never think, oh, our midfield was rubbish today, unless, you know, they've had a particular off day, which has been so rare. And I think that is markedly where Unai Emery has improved this side, is in the midfield, is in developing a player like Douglas Luiz, who is still young, still has all the potential. I think other things like his English improving will have helped. He's probably the most settled he's ever been in the country. I think all of it this season has sort of accumulated, and he's really found his feet. And I just think I'm so happy that we got him to sign that contract, and I hope we can keep him now, because he's been so impressive, and I think he will be a pivotal player for us when we're in Europe.
Yes, Anna.
Yes, he will. I echo what you're saying, because, you know, when I've been doing the player ratings after games and I come on to Mings and Konsa, I never talk about them individually, and that's not being disrespectful to both of them. It's complimentary that they're both doing exactly the same thing. Like, if I say something about Mings, you've got to just say it about Konsa, because they're playing that well, and you don't notice what they're doing because they're just doing it that well. And the same goes for Luiz. He's just brilliant. Like, all season, his games come on. He for me, he could literally, and I'm not trying to sell him, but he could literally play in any Premier League team, any one of them, because he's that good. And I just think he's tremendous, and we've done so well to tie him down on a new deal. And I know I've said this a few times on the pod, but the Villarreal game, like, I was at that game and I was like, these pair here, him and Unai, they're just in each other's ear, talking, communicating. Like, it just looked like Unai was controlling him on a little controller. Like, you need to go here, you need to go here, you need to do this, you need to do that. And now, like, you just plonk him in that midfield and he just literally just does everything. He slows it down, he speeds it up, his awareness is great, his weight of pass is brilliant, his reading of the game's fantastic, you know. And I just think the biggest compliment any player can get is when they get player's player. Like, it's okay, the supporters like voting a player and whatever, but when your own team, and I know you said this in the chat, Ryan, but like, when your teammates like are praising you, like, you know you've had a great season, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. When you get that recognition for all your hard work, all your teamwork, then for me, that's That's the top prize. That's the top prize. And I think Konza might not be too far behind in that vote because he's quietly gone about his business. You know, I wrote a little piece about Mings the other day, but every game, like you say, they are identical. But Konza's stats are unreal, to be honest. His passing, his tackles, it's really, really up there. And he just don't quite get the credit he deserves. But he has also been a top performer. You know, them two real solid team players.
Yeah, they've been immense, and again, like topsy-turvy season. Like I remember watching Villa under Danks, and we were brilliant in that first game, and we went away to Newcastle, and that partnership was just absolutely all over the place, weren't it? Like Mings and Konsa that day were just like, it looked like they never played together before. And now that turnaround to what they are now, the best version we've ever seen from them, you know, speaks volumes, absolutely speaks volumes. And, you know, I couldn't be more proud of every single player under Unai Emery, because what we've achieved has been absolutely fantastic. And we've had so much like joy under Unai Emery so far. So I'm just praying that we can just put that little icing on that cake. And I mean, that fan cam after the game, it's gonna be magic if we get into Europe. So does anyone else want to add anything before we round it up?
Oh, well, yeah. Just listening to you all talk about the levels that the players have achieved, I think something I've come to realise that Unai Emery has brought to the squad and the team is that he gets the players to their top level. He's getting our players to perform at their very best. You know, there's a reason why that Gerrard couldn't get a tune out of this squad. And almost unanimously, the whole country has said, how on earth has Unai Emery done what he has done with basically the same squad that Steven Gerrard had, with not really bringing anyone in? Because he's got this magic Midas touch of getting the best out of these players. So the level, we always knew that you know, if you look at the players that were missing on that first game of the season, half the starting 11 wasn't playing under Gerrard. And now, the likes of Louise, of Konsa, of Mings, of Martinez, of Watkins, you can go through the whole squad. Every single one of them is playing at their peak level. So it is how he does it. I don't know, because he's you know, that little Leon Bailey clip. If you haven't seen it already, go on YouTube or go on Twitter and try and find it out. He basically saying what I'm saying now. He gets the best out of everybody, and he's brought the whole squad together. It is unbelievable, and we're going to get into silly seasons soon once the season's over with the transfer window. And I've seen loads of players we mentioned already, and then I've seen people
probably by me, innit?
Yeah, on the transfers. Yeah, but what's interesting is you know, we link with player A, and then you jump in and go, wouldn't want him, blah 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 blah. But now, looking in the future, I'm going to look at, when we link with someone, I'm going to look at them at their best, because when they come to Villa, that's the level they're going to be working at Villa, because somehow he gets the best out of everybody. And what an unbelievable attribute that is to have as a manager, is to be able to bring the best out of your players. And that only happens when they 1,000,000% have trust in the manager and in what he is doing. And it is sensational.
I think the key word, like you say, is trust, but I think they also just respect him, don't they?
Yeah.
Like what Leon Bailey was saying, you know, they clearly in the dressing room look up to him, and anything he says, they will view it as, that's the right thing to do. I need to do that. So you can't underestimate the power that has, because, you know, any manager can go into a dressing room with the right tactics, but if you don't respect the manager, you're not going to really think they're talking any sense. So it is really nice to actually see the chemistry, not just from the 11 on the pitch, but you feel like it's flowing through the dressing room, don't you? And it clearly is
Well,
making such a difference.
Leon Bailey actually said that, and this was another interesting fact is it's almost irrelevant who starts the game. He said that. He said, we know that the 16 or the 17 players that are going out, and ones that sit on the bench, the ones that we know how important we all are. And he basically said that in other clubs he's been at, players that sit on the bench sometimes don't give a toss because they're not bothered. You're not picking me, I can't be bothered then. But he's even getting the best out of the substitutes. They are literally chomping at the bit because they know when they are called for that they'll have a massive job to do on this pitch. And the 5 subs rule obviously helps. But I don't know. We could talk all night about him, to be honest, because he's potentially could be the best manager I've ever seen at Villa. And that's a big, big statement to make.
It's huge, but I think because he's so humble as well, isn't it? That's what I love about him. You look back on Gerrard and the way he's strutting around the pitch at Goodison, like the big I am, like I've won this game. For Emery, it's like it's about the players, it's about the squad, it's about the club, it's about the fans, it's about everything but himself. He's the architect, he's constructing it all. But
you never see him at the end of games either, do you, Ryan?
No, you don't.
He's down the
tunnel, laptop open, working on the next game, and that humbleness about him is huge for me. And like you say, trust. And once you gain the players' trust, he's brought his tactics in, he's implemented them. That I guess these players found it difficult taking all that information on board, and you might be thinking, flipping out, another meeting. What's this guy on about? But as soon as you start to see his methods paying off on the pitch and you're starting to get results, the more you believe in him, the more you listen, the more you pay attention, and that belief just grows and grows and grows. And it's grown to the stage where we're at game 38 with a chance of Europe, from looking over our shoulders from relegation to before the World Cup. So it's incredible. Up the Unai Emery.
Definitely. Right. So, score prediction second. So, what have we got going on then? So, tomorrow you'll have your predicted lineup out, followed by the press conference on Friday, followed by the opposition preview on Saturday, game on Sunday, content on Sunday. And then we're going to do our season review on Tuesday evening. So that will be out as well on Tuesday. So let's go. The biggest score prediction we will do all season is now. I am going to go with... I've got one score that I've had it in my head all week. And I know I was cautiously, optimistically downplaying the game earlier, but I'm going to go 3-1 Villa, and we're going to do the job, and let's go to Europe. Hannah.
This is horrible. I've tried not to think about this. I am actually trying not to think too much about the game. We cannot predict anything other than a win. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. I'm going to say 2-1. It's going to be a little bit nervy, but like you say, we're going to be patient and we're going to get over the line, and it's going to feel amazing.
I don't know if I said this on the football phoning yesterday, but I actually don't think we'll need to win in the end, because I think Leeds are going to beat Spurs, and I also think City will beat Brentford. So I think in the end we'll be all right. But that's just my permutation that I've had in my head all week as well. I see Leeds doing Spurs. Ryan?
Do you know what? I fancy a goal from an unknown source, I do. Like a Luca Dean or a Cash, someone just popping up, someone random popping up, maybe like a Den Donker coming off the bench and grabbing a winner. Or even Leon Bailey. That'll be a turn up. But let's go 1-0. 1-0 to the
God, that's horrible.
It's gonna be a nervy one. But whatever nervous energy you've got You've just got to let it out in voice,
Yeah.
in encouragement, in songs, clapping. That's how you get rid of all that nervous energy. And if we do score a 95th minute winner, and that to me still don't mean you can enter the pitch.
Do you know-
do not
do you know
want to
what?
see
you know
anyone
what?
on that pitch in any circumstance whatsoever. Because if we make Europe, I want to see that players on the pitch enjoying it. I want to see Emery out and about. So it's going to be mad. It's going to be.
Do you know after the Liverpool game, and I said I felt like it took 10 years off my life. I actually, if that game's 1-0 on Sunday, I think I might be dead by the time we get into Europe.
Yeah, I'll pass away.
St. John's are going to be busy.
I just hope I get to see it. Right, Justin, go on then. What are you going with?
I'll say one thing, Ryan. If it is a 95th minute winner, then I don't think they'll have to demolish the North Stand. It'll go on itself, won't it? Christ. I think we'll win the game. Surprise, surprise. I think 2-0, and the second goal will be scored at the end to calm everyone's nerves, and it'll be his first goal for the Villa, John Duran. And I echo Ryan, please stay off the pitch at the end. I just want the players to enjoy it after what we've been through to get to where we've got to. Let's just let them come out. And you know, I was at Anfield last week, and it was great at the end to see them all walking around and enjoying it with their fans. And we'll hopefully have a massive celebration at the end of that game. And I would like to hope maybe, if we're very lucky, we might hear off the manager over the tunnel, which would be really nice.
Cool. Right then. So that's it for the episode. So don't forget to enter the shirt giveaway. All you've got to do is subscribe to the channel and comment Coutinho down below. If you want to have 2 chances of entering, go on to Up the Villa Podcast Twitter feed, follow the instructions on the tweet, and you've got 2 chances of potentially winning. So that's our final match preview of the season. We'll be back next Tuesday anyway to do our season review, and then you've got all the content this week. So up the Villa.
Up
Up the
the
Villa.
Villa.
See you on the other side.